Everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am back with another One Filmmaker, One Film, except today is One Musician, One CD. A very special episode. I'm hoping to interview more musicians. But today, my guest is musician and friend.
Yes, Chris Ivan. My name is Chris Ivan.
Chris Ivan, I didn't give you I even pointed the wrong way because I'm actually pointing at you this way because now which is the correct way, but if on camera I should be pointing that way. So I should have gone that way. But Chris Ivan, we've known each other now for a little bit. We've worked, especially you. We've worked a lot with Joe Lujan. You're a musician. You're also an actor. You've been in Joe's films, and you'll be working with me coming up if I can ever get my lazy butt. Yeah, so am I. So please tell us a little bit about Chris Ivan. Who is Chris Ivan?
So I am a musician. I love pop music. I love R&B music. I love just music in general. I am a vocalist. I love to perform. I love to sing music. I love anything with music, create music, write songs, find talent. And I'm honestly I'm here one time and I'm gonna do it really good. And that's who Chris Ivan is. He's a type of person who goes with the flow and accepts life as it is and enjoys everything.
Okay, all right. That's a good synopsis of Chris Ivan. So, and today we are here to talk about your debut CD.
Yes.
There it is. There's another one. Biggest Battle, and you even signed it for me, which is really nice. And here's the back. And we got on the CD we have 14 tracks, so which is nice. And I was listening to them again today on Spotify, which sadly does not have all these tracks. So
so on streaming services, they have 12. The two features with Joe Lujan, those are considered bonus, and you can only find those on the CD.
Okay. And I also watched the videos because you have a bunch of videos also for this album.
Oh yeah. So in the long run, when the 1-year anniversary for Biggest Battle comes out, I'll be dropping the Black Glitter edition, which will have some remixes, some new featured artists. So plus the whole visual album, which Joe Lujan is directing, and we have turned that into more of like a musical. So each song is gonna have a music video and a meaning.
Oh, nice. Okay. So will it be different videos than what's already up on YouTube?
So those videos that I have already released on YouTube will stay. I'm no longer releasing any music videos, so I would say the most expensive music videos will be only on the actual visual album. So they'll have to buy that. Okay.
And so that's something to look forward to. And so that will be what, next year, 2022?
So the anniversary is November 27th. So it's coming up in a few months.
Oh, okay, good. So this year. Okay, exciting. And so we talked last night, and I told you that, I originally got this and I did listen to it, but I do like what most people do. I put it on, I cleaned, I did dishes while it was going. It's like, oh, Chris could sing. It's nice. This is, I like this album. But what I do from time to time is, and for this interview, I definitely wanted to do it, was I just sit down, let the album play, kind of close my eyes and just kind of absorb it. And instead of just being that typical guy that, or person that just, oh yeah, it was great. I listened to it while I was vacuuming. So, and I am very, very impressed with this. And I really like the cover for it. I think it's cool. It's an interesting kind of sci-fi plus nature kind of cover.
Yeah.
And then you got your kind of like the weird eye going on there.
Oh my
And
God, so many people were saying that was like Illuminati. And I was just like, oh my God, not yet.
it's similar, but not quite. I could see that.
Yeah.
So and so I wrote down. Let me see here. It's funny is I was writing down the song titles just in case I forgot the to grab the CD. And I just started like, okay, well, which ones are my favorite? Well, what do I like? You know, and it ended up being like every song I put a check mark next to. So then I said, okay, let me go back so
Oh,
I could listen to it a second time. And then I'll do like double check marks for the ones that I really like. And then that
okay.
turned into a third time. So I listened to it 3 times last night. So, and then what's on Spotify today. So I've actually listened to it 4.5 times, almost 5 times because of
Oh,
Spotify.
perfect.
And I really like the CD. I think that it's what would you say, like what type of music? Where would this be if I went into a record store to find it? Like what category?
So you actually can go to any Zia Records if you want to be precise into a store. You go to Zia Records, and I am going to be considered under like pop, but they have it in alphabetical order. So you would go under Chris Ivan. But I would say this album is pop and with a little bit of accents of Latin features because I am mixed. I'm with Latin, and I would say a little bit of R&B because I grew up on R&B. But R&B today isn't what R&B in 2000 in the 1990s was. So I was kind of paying just close attention to what build me as an artist. So I did some R&B, I did some Latin flair, and then I also did a little bit of gospel, which I love gospel music on Control. So to sum it up, it's a pop album, but there's a lot of flares to it.
Okay, and we'll get into those layers because we're going to break this down song by song.
Yes.
And yeah, I've noticed I like when artists do this. I mean, I do it myself with film titles like Aximus, Aximus 2. I like one word. And so you have stuff like, Treasure, Eclipse, Genesis, Time, Control. They're all one word, Fragile. So it's are you a fan of the one word titles too, or did those just kind of just match what you were doing?
Um, I am. I like to get straight to the point. Some people have long song titles, and it's just like, damn, I can't remember all that. But I do have a few songs on the album that have a couple more syllables than just one word. But I like to keep to the one word, get straight to the point. Obviously, I'm going to say that one word several times, so they already know what it's going to consist of. But I do like to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, you do have, yeah. So yeah, there's like Last Crusade, which is my favorite song on the album. That's one I think I've listened to the most.
Really?
Yeah, Harder to Survive, Black Litter. So those are more than one word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I watched the video for Last Crusade too. So I watched a few of them on there. I watched Last Crusade, Biggest Battle, Fragile, Time. Is it Mia Moore? Am I Mia Moore?
Yeah, Mierda.
Mia Moore. And I watched that. And there's other ones on there too that I didn't have a chance to catch, like Treasures on there, Eclipse. So you got videos of all those too.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so when you, so let's kind of start. So these are the questions
Okay.
here, and then we'll start getting more into the album. So who were your influences to make this album?
My influences. Ooh, that's a good question. My influences first in from first influence would be Demi Lovato. I kind of grew up with Demi Lovato. She came out with Camp Rock and then Sunny with the Chance, and she was always doing music. So I always admired her because she started at such a young age, who knew how to control her voice at such a young age. Because I mean, at 13, 16, like our voices aren't fully matured yet. So she just had a incredible voice, and I listened to the tone and the lyrics, and I just connected with her so much. And I would also say Lady Gaga, because she's fucking badass. She's just
She is.
crazy. Her lyrics are crazy. Her performances are crazy. Her outfits are crazy. And then I would also say, mm, who formed at like with my soul. Dang, the third one's always hard. But I would say right now, Iggy Azalea. She kind of grew up like in the 2013, 2012. She's a rapper, not singer, but she's always been bold in what she said. She's never let the critics or the haters knock her down. And I like people who are persistent, who won't give up, who keep on going. So those three females, and I say females because females endure so much more than male do in the music industry. I'm not saying everything, but they are some badass women who actually those were the main influences I pulled from creating this album.
Yeah, it seems I think these days that the younger women are kind of dominating the
Mhm,
charts. And
mhm.
of course a lot of them these days also seem to be found on like Instagram and TikTok and
Yeah,
YouTube. And um it's interesting to see their rises, because they're not
yeah,
a waitress singing in a restaurant and a producer finds them. Instead, that it's all
yeah.
being done through digital media.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So it's
I
it
completely agree.
yeah, I mean, I'm old school. I'm a lot older than you, so that none of the people that I listened to came around that way. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
interesting to watch on YouTube. I have these channels that I like where they do talk about these, and it could be male or female, wherever it is, but whatever young
mhm.
rising star is. And it's like, well, I guess I should probably know who this person is. I mean, they're going to be all over the place.
Oh yeah,
So it's
oh
definitely,
yeah.
worth, educating yourself if you're an older person like me. Um, how did you find your sound for this album?
You know, I started off the first song that I released was Eclipse. And Eclipse is a very EDM type of club song. And then I worked on Mi Amor. And with that, that was another pop EDM song. So the first three songs I would say were like pop EDM influence. And then I started going into time and it started to slow down a little bit and open up more about my feelings. But overall, the type of sound that I wanted to go for was just kind of more like a storytell, like a novel of going from each song kind of flowing into each other. But the sound that I always knew I wanted to go with was pop. So I always had to have a hook that was very catchy, a chorus that's very catchy, a beat that is that makes you move. Just because that's the music that I've always listened to, and my voice kind of goes in that direction. So I wasn't gonna go against it and do some country shit. Like I'm not gonna do that. So I definitely found pop fitting.
Well, and maybe that's why I like it, is because it does have that little more of a kind of a pop sound to it. That
Mhm.
it's not it's not like fingernails on a scratch board, where it's like I'm going to do something
Yeah.
new, and then it's all the way in. You're like,
Oh yeah.
why am I listening to this? Instead,
Hmm.
I put this on, and immediately it grabbed me just with the beat. And it's got good hooks
Yeah.
in it. And so that's so speaking of hooks and stuff, what was the songwriting process like?
So it had changed. I feel like every three songs, it had changed. So for the first three, I had for Eclipse and Genesis, I had written those by myself. So I had done that prior for me even going into the studio, me just locking myself into a room, lighting a candle in complete silence, and I would just write it. I would hear the melody in my head, the beat, exactly what I wanted. With Mi Amor, my producer Blake Wisner best producer out here in Vegas, music producer. He started helping me co-write because at first I was just like, oh, let me write. It's my story. I need to write everything. But once you open up and you tell another person about your story, they see it from another take, and what they could come up with their lyrics is very unique, and it's something that you possibly couldn't have seen in your brain or like figured it out yourself. So I love writing with other people. So after the first two that I've written by myself, certain songs were co-written with me and Blake, but then like Fragile, and I would say DTS, and Harder to Survive. Those were another few tracks that I knew exactly what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it and when I wanted to say it, like with the instruments and the beats. So those were some good songs.
Yeah, and so like if you're writing a screenplay and you're working with somebody, it's just it's ideas, and going out. But with music, I feel that it's much more of a personal thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's so how much of each song is just you, and then if you have a co-writer, are some of the songs a little bit of his feelings, his emotions, or do you just focus on yourself?
So with you know, Blake and I became very close as friends. So he knew my story and he knew exactly how I wanted to tell it to the world. So he kind of kept his emotions and what he went through to himself because he knew exactly what I wanted to say. So when we were writing these songs, he would throw suggestions out and I would be like, those are good. But that one word and that little phrase does not really match, and we'll kind of throw the whole song off if you mention like a girl or you mention something that hurt you that never really hurt me. So like you said, when you do the screenplays, a lot of people just throw out ideas. He would throw out his ideas that he would think that connected with me, but not everything connected with me. So that's why we work together.
So if you listening to this, because this is one thing I don't like about Spotify, the songs are never in order, or at least in order to what you see on the CD. So if somebody were to listen to this, does it kind of tell a story from track one all the way down? So like it should can Treasure stay at number one, or can you also put it down here at like number 6?
It is a story. It is a story, and you can listen into whichever way you want, but as an artist and how I was laying it out, I had to do Treasure, Eclipse, Genesis, and we had more. It was just more of a story that means something to me, and not a lot of just people who would listen to music. They'll just listen to it in random order, and not know. And a lot of times that artists do stuff that are kind of a little bit secret because first we like to be mischievous and like not tell everyone what we've been through, but we want to do it in an artistic way where the people and the fans who are really interested, they'll listen to it track by track and see what's going on. Most people, they'll just click random orders and then find 2 songs that they like and then not listen to the rest of the album.
Okay. So the so basically when did you come up with exactly like what was that point where you were kind of like saying, I got to make this album? I got songs in my head, I got my life in my head, I need to get this out, I want people to hear it, I got something to say. When was that?
So I started going into this, the first time I went into the studio was in 2018 with Blake. I wanted to do one single. I just wanted to do, oh my God, I just want to release one song. I really didn't have anything in the back of my mind saying, you know what, you're going to do 10 songs. You're going to do 12 songs. I really didn't have any of that. I just wanted to do one song to see just for myself and for my friends. I really wasn't thinking of anything big. I wasn't thinking about music videos. I wasn't thinking about acting. Like that wasn't even in the picture. I just wanted to release one song, which was Eclipse. Then I started writing Genesis. And I was just like, okay, there's a few more ideas that are flowing. So I started recording Genesis. Then Mi Amor popped up, and I was just like, okay, here's 3 songs. Let's do an EP. EPs are typically anywhere between 3 and 6 songs. I was just like, okay, that's doable. I could do that. And then I was in Cancun, and then I was writing 3 more songs. I wrote Black Glitter, I wrote Control, and I wrote Time. And I was just like, was it Time? Either Time or Control. And I was just like, damn, this is too many songs for an EP. Then I was trying to be like cost efficient. I was just like, okay, I can't do like 20 songs. So I was like, okay, let's narrow it down. I was like, okay, let's do 10. That's a good debut album, 10 songs, let them get to know you. And what really hit home for me to be like, all right, Chris, you have to do an album, was when people were connecting to Time in a way that I really didn't think that they would. I was having people message me basically saying, I needed a song like this. This had saved my life. My cousin was going to hurt herself, and she heard your song and reached out to me because she knew that we were friends. So it really hit home, and I was just like, well, if people are getting into their feelings and my music is reaching people in a way that I physically couldn't do because I didn't know them or I wasn't there, like I was just like, people really want to hear my story. And I was gonna let everyone know what I've been through this album, and nothing was really gonna stop me. And then when I say nothing, John, I went through hell to release this, and it was really fucked up. But at the time when storms come in cloud, you really don't know what the outcome is. And the outcome of releasing this album was so much better and sweeter than I could ever anticipate it. It built me to who I am today. So I don't regret anything.
That's awesome. And that's awesome to hear. Did what type of support did you have? Like as you were telling people before any of this was really happening, because I know filmmaking wise, I'm like, I want to make a movie, and some people go like, yeah, keep your day job, that's not going to happen. And I know musicians go through the same thing. It's like, yeah, keep the job at the pizza place. What type of support and stuff did you get? Did you get a lot of negativity from people before this whole thing came through?
No. I had a lot of friends and family who already knew that I was singing. I was singing at any place that I could really get a mic and just sing. So at first, everyone was supportive because I wasn't saying things that they didn't want to hear. So at first, I had a good support system. I had everyone supporting me. And then I started to open up and talk about shit that I've been keeping in within myself for years upon years. That's when everyone's colors and faces started to switch. Y'all can switch all you want. You guys aren't paying my studio session, so I'm gonna write what the fuck I want to write. So as I started, I had a good, strong fan base and support system. But then when certain people left, more people came to support me because they were connecting with my music. They were connecting with me as a human. And as an artist. When I'm not in the studio, I'm just a normal human. And I'm even as Chris Ivan, I'm a normal human. But a lot of people call me CJ. So when I'm CJ, I just need that support system and just friends who are just gonna be like, hey, like let's just kick it. It's not always Chris Ivan. And I've learned that I can't have that label all the time. So John, I'm not gonna lie, I completely spaced. So sorry. I was just talking and I was just like, And where
Well,
was I going with this?
you were telling me if you had support before you started making the
Oh yeah.
album, like when it was just an idea, or was it negative, and you're getting into um, that the some people left, but you got
Yep.
other people, and you mentioned CJ. Who's CJ?
CJ. CJ is a loving person who honestly just wants to make everyone happy, who wants to cook for everyone, who wants to um he wants to just make people happy. And I've realized that when I've neglected CJ with Chris Ivan, CJ when he went home and wasn't doing music or wasn't performing, he was kind of sad and neglected because I was focusing so much on Chris Ivan. And that's one thing that I've learned, that if you don't balance your public figure and then your personal figure, you start to really lose yourself in both platforms. So I had to take some time to find and discover who CJ was again before I went to the studio. So CJ is someone who loves people like John Ward. I love John.
Oh,
And
I love you
people
too.
who are reasonable because not everyone's reasonable.
No, they're
But
not.
I just want to put a smile on everyone's face, and I know I can't do that, but I'm gonna do it for the people who love me, and we share that connection and friendship and relationship.
Okay. And what, because you had mentioned like paying for studio time and stuff. What how did that happen? Like what was your budget for this?
For my age, most people would put a price and be like, hey, I'm not going over this because I got to pay for school and then I got to pay for this and I got to pay for that. I went in it saying, if this is my dream, I'm going to invest every dollar that I can because no one else is going to do it for me. This is my dream. I'm not going to rely on someone else to give me my dream. I applied for X Factor, American Idol, America's Got Talent, and everyone told me no. So I was just like, I'm going to just work 50, 60 hours a week, plus going to school full time, working full time, and go to the studio for 10, 15 hours a week for 3 years. There wasn't a price. I was going to do it myself, and when I felt like it was completed, that's when I was going to stop. John, honestly, if I think about it, if I had a different mindset and I was working full time, 50, 60 hours a week, going to school time, and I saved all that money, I could have put a good down payment on a house. But that wasn't my calling. I wanted an album, and I wanted a good album. I didn't want nothing half-assed. And then I kind of wanted to put myself on the earth. Like, here's the pinpoint. This is Vegas. This is the Vegas artists, the Vegas community. Kind of shine some light on Vegas because there's so many talented directors, actors, writers, singers. There's so much talent here, but we kind of have a little like bad a lingering taste in people's mouth. Oh, you're from Vegas. It's just not.
Yeah, I've
I
heard
didn't
that.
like that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the fuck I am. I am from Vegas. I do my job fucking good.
And you mentioned like putting down a down payment on a house, but everybody could do that. Everybody has a house or whatever it is. Not everybody has this.
I
I mean,
know. Not
I mean,
everyone does.
no. I mean, that's unique. That's something that just not everybody can do. So I think this is better than a house. I mean, you can always buy a house down the
Oh yeah.
road and you can rent an apartment, but not everybody could do this. So, that's I think
Mhm.
that's the much better route to go. And
Mhm.
so now that I have this up, let's actually start kind of breaking this thing down. Um
Oh yeah.
so the next question would have been anyways, well, pre-production time. Let's start with that and then we'll move into production where we'll talk about the songs. So what was like kind of like
Okay.
I don't know, does music have pre-production like film does? I mean, I guess you have to set everything up before you get into the studio.
I was actually thinking about that because in your world, you guys would use pre-production. That's like a lingo that musicians really wouldn't use. Um, at least everyone that I know. Maybe in the bigger labels they do because they're fancier. But how we would do it, we were just we would say we were just vibing, we were just chilling, we were just having a writing session. Those could be anywhere between, and since these are 3-minute songs, just 20 hours on one song. We really, it's very different from how you guys would all be there like in a room and throw ideas for writing. It was mainly just one person, two people. It's really hard to say and give you like a this is how you do it, because writing is completely different for everyone. How I
Sure.
did it was just a few friends by myself at times, just throwing some songs out, like some melodies, and then someone would be like, "Oh, I got it," and then we would start writing. So I would say at minimum, at least for me, it was at least I would say 2 sessions for each song, which is 8 hours.
Okay. Pardon me. All right. So Treasure. Let's get into the very first song on here. Treasure. What is that? What's that about? Tell me about Treasure.
So Treasure is about basically finding someone that is so valuable, like that is your piece of like the missing puzzle, like that you find that person and they just make you kind of complete. That was a very spontaneous song. I was working on a song called Clapback, which didn't make the album for my first album because it just wasn't really connecting with anything else within the album. I mean, you hear the title Clapback and it's just like that should already give you like a feel of what type of song it's gonna be. And I didn't want it to be like that. So I was just like, I had 2 hours left of a session and it kind of just came out. I said, scrap it. I don't want to work on this. Everyone in the studio, I had a friend at a time, his name was Joe Frizzell, and Blake in the studio. And they were like, what? You want to scrap it? And we're already like 2 hours in. We're like, we would waste time. And I said, no, I have a song I want to do. And within 2 hours, we got the beat down. We got the first chord, the chorus. And you know, when you're in love, like it'll just flow naturally, and that's what the lyrics did. And I was kind of just, it sounds like stupid to say in love with the song because I was in love with the person so much. But Treasure is a really dance track, but also about, it's a love song.
Okay. And the was it Clapback? Is that the name of the other song? The song that you didn't do?
Yeah.
Will that kind of make its way into a song, or will it find its way into a different song?
So Clapback will be a part of my second album. See, this was a very pop-based album. For the most part, it was pretty positive. Now, Clapback will be on an album that is very dark. Very
Ooh,
dark.
I like dark.
Talks about, oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that have already asked for certain songs in their films because of, I mean, a lot of you guys and people that I know are horror directors and horror fans, and I'm talking about very dark, promiscuous thoughts and actions. And you know what? I don't hold back on the second one, and I know that it's gonna shock a lot of people who fell in love with the first album, but I have a layout of how I'm gonna release things. So just because the second album you may not like because it's dark, just wait for what's after that. I've been busy.
Well, good to hear. So song 2, Eclipse. What's that about?
So Eclipse is basically about also being blinded by someone, being blinded by their love, and you really asking yourself, is this the life that you really want? Is this the direction you really want to go in? But at the end, you're so blind and you're so in love that, you know what, all you're focused on, you're focused on them, their lips, their body, like their personality. And you know, because sometimes love is a little scary. Is it like, fuck, do you really want to go through this? You spend a lot of time, you're investing your a lot of time that you don't know if you'll ever get back. So it was kind of like a leap of faith type of song. And you know, I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to fall in love with this person, and I'm going to explore the realms of this passion while being blinded by the eclipse. So the eclipse is kind of like a metaphor. That's the love. That's the person. So
Do
when it's
you?
saying blinded by the eclipse, that is your significant other.
Okay. And do you still want to wear sunglasses when you look at the eclipse, or is it okay to just kind of?
It depends on my mood. If it's like, let's bear it all, no glasses.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Um, do you have any of the songs on here? Like, have you gotten any sort of like, hey, how dare you write this about me? I know this is about me. Have you gotten any of that?
Yes. For Last Crusade and Mi Amor, both people had reached out. Well, let me first Last Crusade. Last Crusade, my best friend, Kiki, she was going through a horrible breakup. I had never seen something so bad, so foul. Fuck those people. So she came to the studio because she wanted to be with her best friend, and I didn't really trust her. I was like, I don't want you to be alone right now. Like, just stay with me. And I knew she had a voice because we had went to school. We were in choir, like a performing school. It was so I knew she had a voice, and I was just like, Kyra, maybe express yourself in a new light. And she was just like, I don't know, I've never done this. So that song is really written. I mean, I've been through stuff like that, but it was for her and what she was going through currently. And then the X, and when it was released, the music video, he started commenting on the video was just so dumb, and he was saying retarded stuff. You know, guys and their egos, they're like, you will never find it like this. You ain't never gonna like. It was retarded stuff. Like, so, fuck him, honestly. So I have gotten backlash, and then for Mi Amor, that person has reached out to me and be like, hey, like, well, we were doing what's supposed to be in private. And I was just like, I mean, it's private for you. You don't have to tell nobody. I didn't drop your name, but I'm gonna let people know what happened. So I'm not really telling people your name. But if you keep on bothering me, I'll find someone who looks like you and put them in the music video, and then they could guess. So you do it in ways where you do it in ways where you can't get sued. Shit, I ain't trying to get sued. But there has been several songs that people are like, they don't like, but I'd never name drop.
Yeah, it's funny when I always thought this type of stuff happened like back in the 80s with like, rap artists, with the South and the North, and they're yelling at one another, then they shoot each other in the streets. I didn't. I mean, this stuff has been going on for a long time, and like even the Beatles. I mean, when they broke up in the 70s, John Lennon wrote a song called "How Do You Sleep at Night," and Paul McCartney wrote a song called "Too Many People," and they're about each other, and they're not nice.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Paul's comment to "How Do You Sleep at Night" was, "I sleep very well, thank you," because he knew it
yeah.
was about him. So it's
Oh, yeah.
this has been out there probably even before the Beatles. I mean, where people have
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about other people.
People take, because it's an artistic way of kind of getting your last jab. You're like, I have the last comment. Because people can say stuff physically, but then when you put it, that's the special thing about being an also a musician. I would recommend don't mess with musicians, because we will go straight to the studio, release a song that is released to the world forever. So, oh yeah, a lot of actually, to be honest, all my songs on the album started with someone influencing me in a certain way and made me go out to write the song and go to the studio and be like, hey, this is what we're going to start right now. And this is how we're going to do it.
You're going to Taylor Swift them.
Yes.
Okay, so song 3, Genesis. And this is, you have a person featured on here. Is it P-Tone?
Yes, P-Tone.
Okay, I don't have my glasses on, so I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. So Genesis featuring P-Tone. Enlighten us on Genesis, please.
Ooh, Genesis is a very, very lengthy, wordy type of song. I didn't know if it was gonna make the cut. That was the second song I had ever written when I was in creating the album, and I didn't know if people were gonna like it because the lyrics are very biblical based as well. So I recorded that in 2018, and I finally found the right rapper that I was looking for, and he didn't record his part until 2019. So we have 2018, 19. So it took me 3 years to find the right rapper.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't going to, I was looking for a specific sound. And if I couldn't find it, I was just going to scrap the song. Like, fuck it, I'll just create something new. And Genesis was kind of just letting me know, like people go through a lot of shit in this industry, but to have thick skin, people are gonna talk, people are gonna shit on you. People are gonna say he did this and try to lie about something. And you know what? Like I basically wrote the song for myself. Like you gotta have thick skin, like you and you never know when your time is up on this earth. So while you do it, just be positive and just keep pushing forward. But you definitely gotta have thick skin.
So you had mentioned that there's there's like religious elements to that. Do you to the song, do you feel that that's could be a positive or a negative? Like, do you think like, oh, I'm going to turn off somebody, when they listen to this song?
I had both thoughts. I mean, someone who didn't want to hear anything about, it wasn't like I was saying very, like I was saying like Jesus or hallelujah or stuff. I was kind of like talking about like splitting the Red Sea and like just like when you have to walk through trials and tribulations and just stuff like that. So I wasn't really using words that most people would like trigger words. So if someone already knew the Bible and like the stories of it, they would be like, oh, he's talking, it's very biblical based. But if you didn't hear those trigger words, I don't think anyone would really even notice.
Okay, I mean, I figured it was just because of the title, so I kind of listened, and I got some of it. So, but it's that to me is very interesting when somebody releases like a religious song. I mean, well, Beatles, back to the Beatles, that was when they were solo. George Harrison released "My Sweet Lord," and they thought it was going to bomb. It was going to end his career, and it didn't. It was massive. It like skyrocketed his solo career. So I guess you just how it's done.
Oh yeah, and at the same time, I knew people would see it as like, oh, okay, and like I mean Genesis, that's the first book of the Bible. But then for me, it's Genesis is like the beginning, like the creation, like. And I wrote this song in the beginning of my career when I was creating my career. So it was kind of a double meaning. For most people, they would be like, "Oh, it's about the Bible, and he must be talking about religion." But then at the same time, I was talking about what I needed to find out in the beginning of my career. You better have thick skin, like, and that's one thing I learned really quick because there's so many vultures out here who want to like fucking tear you apart, and it's just like, no, not me.
Well, that's good to hear.
Oh yeah.
Track 4 is the Mi Amor, and you've talked a little bit about that. Is there anything else you could talk about it?
It's a very hard song to sing, and everyone fucking loves it.
It's a good song. It's my second favorite on the album.
Oh, I love that. I love hearing that. But people want me to perform it so much that I'm just like, all right. I mean, this is my job, and then I'm like, oh, why did I like arrange the vocals to be so difficult to perform live. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna do it because I'm an artist. I'm Chris Ivan. Other than that, I it's one of my favorite bridges of the whole album, and that's another In Love song. And I also wanted to show the Latin side of me and sing the chorus in Spanish, and that's exactly what I did. And I like to say I did that song justice.
Well, yeah, it's my second favorite one. I really like it. So I think when I listened to Last Crusade a few times, I'm like, let's switch it up. And I went to that one for a few times. And then track 5 is Control, but not spelt the way that you would normally think. It's C, and then it's got the why am I blanking on that? The
Underscores.
underscore. Thank you. So C underscore NTR underscore L. So tell me about that, and why is it spelled that way?
I there honestly how it's spelled has no special meaning. I just want it to be so different because everyone spells it out control with the O's. And I was just like, how can I do it just in a more artistic way? I mean, how it's spelled has no meaning. I should create a story, but I'm not even like that. I won't create shit. That's how it was. I did it like that. But the meaning of that song, I went through a big transition in life. And at that time when I wrote this song, I was in the studio and I was alone physically and mentally. And it was it was a very dark time, very hard time. But I also, in the midst of that, I created that song for myself. So in 1 or 2 months down the road, when I heard it again, it'd be like you're in control. Because when I wrote the song, how I was feeling was definitely not how motivational control is and positive. I wrote that for me to listen later down the road and be like, you know what, you've come this far. Look at when you first recorded the song and where you're at now. You're in control of your life now, and sometimes you have to let certain people go for you to grow. And as much as you love them, you can still love them, but sometimes you have to let go of just toxic traits. And I mean, it might be forever, it might be for a short period of time, but everyone's growing. So I would like to just say that I'm in control now, and I still love you, but it doesn't mean that we get to always share everything, because what's your business is your business, and I don't give a fuck to know. And certain business is my business, and you don't need to know everything about me.
Nice. Okay, good. I like that. And okay, so track, and to just go back for how it's spelled, this, if people do a search, let's say Spotify or whatever it is, mostly they're going to come up with the way that control is normally spelled. Yours is going to stand out. So if a list of controls come up by different artists, yours is going to come up as looking different. I would click on the one that's different. But why click on the 10,000 other ones that are all spelled exactly the same way? It's like, oh,
my God, John. Now, I'm gonna tell everyone that you just gave me the story. Thank you. I'm gonna tell
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm glad I could be part of it. So now track 6 is Time. What's Time about?
So because we have made up, and she's okay because about me talking about it, because she is in the music video. So that song was actually written about Kiki, who is featured in Last Crusade. That was the third song that I had written, and that was in 2018. Me and Kyra didn't rekindle our friendship until the midsummer of 2019. So I was feeling some type of way, and I created the song because I felt like back in that time I exerted too much energy, and I'm not gonna too much energy. And when you try to save someone from their own demon, you kind of lose yourself. And I I kind of just had to step back and be like, hey, if this is what you want to do, I love you, but I can no longer be in your life. But I'll be here whenever you want, whenever you need someone to have a shoulder to cry on, I'm here. But the actions and stuff that you are doing, I can no longer participate. And that was a hard thing to do. It was very hard, but I had to put it in a song because there's so many people out there who exert themselves way too fucking much for someone. I don't want to say who deserves it because that it's about her, but then a year later I make up with her. But she knows. It was just, I mean, we were young, younger. I mean, I'm already fucking young. I say younger, and we just needed time to grow. And time is just about kind of reminiscing on everything that you guys have done together, and then within switching up so quick, now all that time is gone, and it's like you don't remember the years upon years that we had spent together. So I would say time is just a song that I just needed to release for the heart.
Okay. And yeah, so it's nice to have her then back on one of the songs. So
Mhm.
'cause I like that video for Last Crusade too, but we'll get to that one. That one's coming up shortly. So the next one, number 7, is shh, but it has an exclamation point. Shh.
Oh yeah,
So
heart.
it's yeah, so it's a loud shh.
Yeah.
So what's shh about?
So that was it. I would like to say it's like a little transition, like a little interlude leading into the R&B type of sound. So it goes shh, and then it goes into Last Crusade, and basically shh is about basically saying like, you let shit get to your head. You thought I was gonna be with you. I can't be with you because you're a bum. No, I'm joking. That was rude. I just can't be with you because we're on two fucking different levels. Um, yeah, I just can't be with you. You can see this bounce. You can see this ass bounce and jiggle. Not with you, and that's just that. That's what it is. Fuck you. Fuck the person I wrote the song about. I don't like you, and we're on two different levels.
It does not sound like you have made up with that person yet.
No.
And we'll leave it at that.
And we'll leave it at that.
And now we come to track 8, which is my favorite song, Last Crusade. I enjoyed the video with this, and this has Kiki. That's her name, Kiki?
Yes.
Yes, and Kiki's on this one. So please elaborate on Last Crusade. This one I'm very interested in because it's my favorite.
So Last Crusade means holy war. And I just fell in love with I know I don't know the exact time, but I know that when like the Constantines and like the Pope, and just in that time where they were like having wars about the land and where they wanted it to be. I am not a historical person, so I may be saying these wrong. I just know that Last Crusade was used in that time because there was a lot of holy wars when just the rise of the Catholic Church with all sorts of stuff. Sorry, I'm kind of getting distracted in where I'm going. But Last Crusade means holy war. And when I felt with her love with that person, I was kind of saying, Kyra, like, this is your last holy war with him. After this, you guys will not be together. Like, you're trying too much, and what you had was holy, but now you guys are separating, and this is your last war with him until you're completely gone. And most people will say, like, I'm saying Last Crusade, but the actual meaning is this is my last holy war with you.
Interesting.
And it's letting you know, like get away from me. It won't be in your favor if we keep on trying this out. And it kind of continued from into Last Crusade, because talking about the two different levels, like I think in Kiki's part, she says, "You're a two, I'm a 10. I'm a 10, you're a two." Like, sorry, like this is my last holy war. I've regained my worth. I know what the fuck I am. I know what I deserve. I know what I can offer. And baby boo, you just ain't it. Sorry, bye. Next.
Yeah, these girls think that they, they're all it, and it's not. Many, like a decade ago, I dated somebody who said that you should be lucky to be like walking with me on the street because I'm so much better looking than you. And granted, at that time I was thin and had a full set of hair, and it's like, wait a minute, I was being compared to like Treat Williams and like to other Mel Gibson, back in the day. And it was just like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like if he, we're equally, attractive. What? And it was just so weird to hear that. And
Hopefully you dumped her.
yes, well, yeah, it was a 3-year nightmare, but yeah, but
Hopefully.
it's weird when people think that way. You're the 2, I'm the 10, you should worship me, and all right, well then I'll just go find a 2. We'll just be on the
I
same level then.
mean, in her case, I'm not just saying this because she's my friend. She could have done so much better than him. So we were just reminding him. Maybe, I know it's not nice, but when you're hurt, you say some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is what it is. It's out there for the whole world. So go stream Last Crusade.
Well, and that's the good thing about music, is that you can make up through music. You can fight through music, you can make up through music, but you can't really do that with film. It's very difficult to do that. But with music, I mean, especially if you're one of those guys that can play the guitar and you can just make up stuff on the spot, it's just you can make up for a lot of those, Last Crusades just with that
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So no, track 9 is Black Glitter. What's that?
So Black Glitter, that was written shortly after I wrote Control. Just basically another song for myself that would end up turning out to be a song that a lot of people connected to, basically saying like, you're passing through the motions and that's just not it. And you're hurting yourself by going through these emotions and feeling no pain and acting as if you're not human and you're a robot. But sadly, to remind everyone, we're human. We have the same blood. Like nothing is different, and we all go kind of through the same pain. And you know what? It was just basically saying like, never let your demons kind of control you, or toxic people controlling you. And just basically, it's like black glitter in the night sky. Like look up and just dance and see the glitter and embrace the night.
Well, maybe more people should play this song then.
Mhm.
I mean, you've been over to my apartment, and I don't live in the worst area, but it's not the best area, and it's primarily Black tenants, and then I would probably say it's white, then Hispanic, and then everything below that.
Yeah.
But I look at all the people here and I say, it doesn't matter what we are. We're obviously all making the same paycheck, because we all live in the same complex. I mean, you can't be making more money than me. I'm no better than you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be better than me. And so, people shouldn't be fighting and calling each other names, and twice a
Yeah.
month the police show up. So maybe that's it. Maybe this could be the new kind of the new anthem for people. Will be Black Glitter, and we can all kind of come together and realize that
Oh yeah.
we're all in this together.
Yeah, and basically, originally I named this the song "Stars," and I thought that was a little too basic. I was just like "Stars," but then I was out in Goldfield on a film that Joe Lujan was directing called Obscura, which is part of his why am I blinking on that universe? The Ravage Rain
Immortal
universe.
Wars.
It's
yeah.
Yeah. So he was directing, and I was assisting him on that shoot. And it's so dark out there. There's nothing out there. There's no fucking service on your phone. There's just nothing. There's not even a McDonald's, John. There's not even a fucking McDonald's. There's nowhere to eat after 9. It's like, fuck me. And they were filming. They started production at 10 p.m. and didn't end until 6 a.m. So it was a long shoot.
Yeah.
For 4 days. For 4 days. And one night I caught myself staring at the sky, and since there's no lights, it's so dark and you could see the stars so bright, and I was just like, oh my god, it looks like glitter. It's black glitter. It's in the sky. So I switched the song from Stars and I called it Black Glitter, and it's just like black glitter in the night sky, and it's just to just embrace and look up, and just the night is ours. Remind yourself, reset at night, and let's just go again in the morning.
Hey, Black Glitter is a much better title than Stars. Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
Stars is very, very wonderful.
It's basic.
You know, yeah, it's very typical, but Black Glitter, and once again, it's a title that if somebody were looking, like if they typed in black to search for music that has black in the title, Black Glitter is interesting. It's an interesting title because normally glitter is, you know, silver or gold or whatever it might be. It's not black, and it's just like, oh, what's the song called? Black Glitter. That's interesting. You know, let's listen to it. So it's a much better title, because you could probably Google the song Stars and like 1,000 come up. So see, once again, you're groundbreaking. Hey everybody, sorry about that. For some reason, just we completely shut down. I don't know. So hopefully we'll be able to save this through editing. But we were talking about track 9, Black Glitter, which was also originally known as Stars, and then Chris changed it to Black Glitter. So, which is a much better title, as we've come to realize. Now the next song, it's track 10. This is my 3rd favorite song, and it is called DTS. What's that about, and what does DTS stand for?
So with being a local in Vegas, that is downtown Summerlin. Now I'm joking. So DTS, it means my way is don't talk shit. It was kind of directing it to a group of people who hung out and like were always at DTS. I didn't like them, so I couldn't be like, kind of name drop them. So I wrote their favorite hangout spot, changed the words to don't talk shit, so the people who hung out there, they would know. I don't like it to be like, did they write the song about me? No, you'll know. So don't talk shit is basically about a song. It's literally, I really wanted to start off on a good start with everybody. I was nice, and just, you know, people don't have the same like, people don't want to be nice these days. It's so fucking weird to me, John. Like, seriously, people rather have a stick up their ass and be rude all day for no reason. Like, why? Like, I didn't give you a reason. But now I'll give you a reason. It's like, don't talk shit. Like, I prefer to talk in private if we have issues. I prefer to deal it out face to face rather than texting or going to Instagram or Facebook or creating a song. I'd rather just talk to you face to face, and you know, things didn't work out that way. And I mean, fuck it, don't talk shit. I've told the person several times. I'm telling you, I sing to fucking people out in the world. Don't talk shit. I try to influence people to not talk shit because it's so toxic, but people are still gonna run their mouth. And you know what? It's still a good song, and it's a very it's like, it has a very pop gospel vibe to it, kind of like Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato. That was my huge big inspiration. And you know, the DTS music video actually premiered at Lindsay Cruz's premiere for Chameleon.
Oh.
Joe Lujan and Lindsay Cruz directed that beautiful film, and she also picked up Last Crusade in that film to be the theme song of the movie.
Oh, nice, nice. Congratulations with that. So cool.
Yep.
Um, so now track 11, Fragile.
That's a touchy topic for me. Fragile was basically me just saying like, with all the shit that I've been through, I mean, I just had to endure it, and it made. I tried my hardest for people to see that I was doing okay and I was fine, and that those people's words weren't affecting me. But to be honest, CJ's very fragile. I have to go back to CJ because Chris Chris Ivan would have never wrote a song called Fragile because he wants to protect himself. And CJ wrote Fragile, and basically was saying like, I can't carry on if these negative comments, I can't deal with the bullshit no more. Like, I have to let you go. You will no longer move forward with me in my future. I just can't deal with it. And it's a very deep song. I talk about lyrics that a lot of people wouldn't really talk about. I basically like, you build me up just to tell me that I'm worthless. Like, here I am at night having suicidal thoughts of like ending my life. And the one thing as an artist that I never want to do is I want to touch about topics where not a lot of people will talk about, because then you'll get casted as, oh my God, you have so many at-home problems. It's just like, no, in this day and age, mental health is so fucking serious. We can no longer just be silent and no longer share the spotlight with mental health, because people are dying every day because they feel like they can't talk to nobody. And when I wrote this song, I was having feelings of like, am I going to be very honest with you, John, I was like, am I going to be alive even when, am I going to have the opportunity to even be alive to release the album? That's where I was at.
Oh, wow.
And I was just, it was a very dark time for me. And I just had to, it was another one of those songs where I was writing it for myself. So in 3 or 4 months, when I listen to it, it's like, you've come so far. Like, you won't carry on no longer. Like, stay away from me. And the bridge, it goes like, if I could go back in time and tell myself not to worry, it'll all work out. Kind of like just like having a conversation with myself, being like, you've made it this far, don't stop going. Just, if I could go back in time and tell that little boy like, hey, you're gonna go through some shit and it's all gonna be worth it, because one day you're gonna fall in love. One day you're going to know what your passion is in music. One day you're gonna have an album. One day you're gonna have music videos. One day you're going to be a leading actor in a sci-fi movie. Like, there's so many things that are gonna come to flourish. But when people have a dark mindset and they're being very negative and everyone is going through their own shit, as humans, we like to isolate ourselves and think that we're the only one going through it. And that
True.
is not true. Maybe everyone's gone through their shit. And I mean, that's how you make friends, because sometimes your friends, you can relate to their stories. So that was a song that I needed to tell my little CJ that everything was going to work out.
Okay, good. Yeah. So would Fragile be the most personal song on the album?
Yes. With the music video for Fragile, I was the leading promotional singer. I'm a single when we released the album was Fragile. The music video, have you seen it? Did you get the chance to watch the music video for Fragile?
I don't think I watched. No, I don't think I watched Fragile.
Okay. So when you get time, if you want to watch it, um, all I had baby I have a baby box that I've had my whole life, and every huge achievement that had happened from one to where I'm at now, I put in that box. I had put in that box, and when we were shooting the music video, I was basically talking to my younger self, and all the pictures from when I was doing t-ball to when was winning state champions for track, like everything was laid out. And I was talking to my younger self, looking at pictures when I was 5, looking at pictures when I was 13, and just freaking out and just like wishing I could go back in time and tell that little boy, like, you're gonna get through it.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. So it's a personal song, but a relatable song.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. And so now track 12, Harder to Survive. What's that?
So when I say I went through hell recording this album, I felt like and it wasn't always bad. I mean, I found some amazing people through that timeline, like you, like Lindsay, like Joe, Luhan. I met a lot of great people, but fortunately, there was a lot of tragic events during that time. And Harder to Survive, my Aunt Margot was like, she was like the pillar, like of like our family. She was everything. She was just so wise and so smart, and she was the one who taught me really how to sing. And so I was kind of like, baby mama, like I'm recording songs, I'm doing it just like you, like I'm following your footsteps. And I remember I was with a friend and I believe it was in January, and I had just finished making burgers, and I had made 2. I just finished my first one. I was about to take a bite of my first burger. Like it's so vivid because I remember it like it was yesterday. I was gonna take a bite of my second burger, and I got a phone call from my brother, and he said, "Did you hear? Did you hear?" And he said, the mama had passed away. And I said, wait, like, what do you mean? Like, is she still like, I was in denial, and I was just like, what do you mean she passed away? And I zoomed straight over there, and unfortunately, she it was just her time, you know? And that hit home because I was doing this album for her too, because she no longer could sing. So it was kind of like I was living through her dreams and actually physically producing a CD, an album that people could listen to. And I felt like my time with Margot was taken away from me from other people. So I had so many emotions built up. And moving forward, honestly, there were so many times where I was just like, bro, this is so hard. Let me just stop. I don't want to release the album. And if I didn't have a very special person in my life telling me, like, you have to get this album out, you have to do it for her, you have to finish it for her, and you have to do it for yourself, I mean, I don't know where it would be today. So Harder to Survive is basically me paying respects to Margot and letting her know, like, it's so hard to like not walk into the house or the room and not see you, and then you saying something funny, and it was harder to survive. And I thought I was gonna go crazy. I thought I was gonna lose my shit. I thought I was gonna lose everything that I had worked so hard for, because I felt guilty and I felt ashamed. And I just had to realize that, like, I am doing this for her. And the bridge, instead of doing a bridge in that song, I actually found all these videos of her talking and I kind of connected them in a way that it was like as if she was saying one whole like phrase or one whole topic, and her voice is in the bridge.
Oh,
So it's basically her
that's
just saying,
yeah. So I noticed that the song kind of stops, and then there's like a almost like like a recording of two
yeah,
people, and then it goes back to the song. So that's her.
that's her.
That's awesome.
That was just videos that I had, and basically her just saying like me saying like I miss you and I love you, and her just being like I love you too. So yeah, that was for her.
Well, that's very nice,
So
that's yeah. I'm sorry that you had to go through all that. So, but it's nice that you can honor her with the song. So, and with
oh
now
yeah,
the full CD. So, you know.
oh yeah,
So now track 12 is officially technically where the album ends, and then we get into two bonus tracks,
yeah.
both of them with one Joe Lujan. And
Mm-hmm.
so track number 13 is Beautiful Warriors.
Yes. Okay. Before I hit the topic about Beautiful Warriors, I wanted to I haven't told a lot of people about this, but track 10, 11, and 12. So DTS Fragile and Harder to Survive. I had 1 month before I released the album, and I was uploading them to my distribution company, and I just felt like something wasn't right. And I had one album, like I was already putting the date out there. I was already releasing content for the album, and the album didn't feel like it was done. So I had 1 week to finish those 3 songs within a month to release them.
Oh wow.
So I had to write and we had to write the songs, create the beat, produce them, and be 100% complete within a week. So we did 3 songs in 1 week, and then I just released them really quick.
Oh wow. They don't sound like they were done in 1 week.
Yeah, I just did the album didn't feel complete until I went in and finished those 3, and I'm so happy I did.
Well,
So
yeah, because
happy.
yeah, I mean that would have left off some good stuff, and now it's like a complete album. So
Oh
and now
yeah,
you're now you're like, hey, I got a whole album. I can actually put bonus tracks on here.
oh yeah. So and then I also wanted people to know, like I had stuff to get off my chest, like DTS. And then I wanted people to know that I'm not always like doing all right. I'm fragile sometimes. And then I needed people to know what I went through with the passing of my Aunt Margot, and all that just made those songs because I knew exactly what I wanted to sing about, what I wanted to hear. And that's why I feel like those songs were produced so quick.
Okay, well, that makes sense. So where does
But
Beautiful Warriors fall into that then?
so Beautiful Warriors is featuring one of my like like best friend mentor. Like he is like helped me so much just in life and in the industry, Joe Lujan. And we wanted to do a very positive, uplifting track that is about equality, but also about letting people know that you're a beautiful warrior, that you got this, that you may fall down sometimes, pick yourself up, get your shit together, put your wig on, put your hair on, and let's go to the club. That's what we really wanted. And Beautiful Warriors is basically just letting people know that we are here, and we're not going nowhere, and we are going to dance and fight until everyone embraces and loves who we are.
Okay, and so it's always nice to have those type of songs out there. Very
Yeah,
positive and uplifting. And now, Biggest Battle, that which is track 14, which is also with Joe Lujan. I was
yeah.
expecting a bombastic, booming, cannons going, whatever it might be, because of the title of the song. It's not.
Mm-mm.
It is not that at all. Why? So why is that on Biggest Battle?
It, that is also the Biggest Battle is the title track of the album, and I feel like releasing this album collectively, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was the biggest battle that I've ever had to overcome to have this product out. And it was in so many ways, I was writing the song with Joe Lujan and Blake Wisner, and we didn't really know, like we loved the lyrics and how it was sounding at the time, but we didn't know within 2 weeks or 3 months that it would both hit us and mean something completely different when we hit that time in life when we would know the true meaning of the song. So we wrote this song about Joe Lujan's grandmother that had passed, and basically paying respect, and just created it for her. And then one day before the music video shoot, my Aunt Margot had passed.
Oh, wow.
So the whole time I was really writing it for him. And then the day before the music video, everything hit me in a very different way. The song completely shifted and did not mean what it meant to me. Like, I mean, when you have someone die and then the lyrics are about someone who is passing, oh my God, it hit me in so much different. But yes, it was a song, basically a ballad, basically like saying like, you taught me the way, I mean, even though life isn't perfect and we've had our ups and downs, but at the end of it, like, you taught me the way you taught me how to live life respectfully, to be honoring and just be a decent human, and it was, I wanted to end it with a ballad as well, because it kind of closed my heart in a chapter of basically, this is where you taught me everything, but now since you have passed, I'm closing this chapter and I'm moving forward. So it's a deep song. Most people expected all that like bomb shit and it to be like a fast paced song, but no, it was a ballad, and it was really meaningful to Joe Lujan and I. And the music video was shot beautifully. Destin from Quantum Arc, he did amazing capturing it, and it was just a good way to end the album, basically saying thank you to the ones who have taught us to live life. I mean, you're taught everything, and then when someone's gone, it's kind of like, oh fuck, like, part of you is still here because you taught me everything I know. So, oh yeah.
Wow. So it sounds the whole album sounds very personal. So it's kind of like you listen to this and you know a little bit of Chris Ivan there. So
yeah,
just know a little bit more about you. So
yes, and then the next album, you'll know exactly what turns me on, how I love to have sex, and how sometimes I feel like I see blood on my hands because I really want to hurt people. That's the second album. That's
oh, wow.
The dark album.
Well,
Yeah.
that I am looking forward to then. So that sounds right up my alley.
Yes.
So now, because you were talking about like distribution and stuff like that, who's your distributor?
So I go through DistroKid. They are the easiest distribution, I personally feel, when it comes to releasing music. I think you pay a monthly fee of, like, depending on which level you pick. I picked like the minimum level because they give you more platforms to release your songs on, and just better perks. Very easy, super affordable, and they made it easy just to upload art. And DistroKid, I recommend everyone going over there and releasing their music. You get to pick your release date, what you want, They give you perks where you get upgrade, like title excuse me, title will give you like an extra master on your songs for $2.99. They give you all these opportunities that the streaming platforms could take your song to the next level, and they just really have the best interest in the artists and not about the money. How these huge labels, it's just a bit, I mean, we understand it's a business, but at the same time we want our heart and our art to be heard too.
Right. No, that makes total sense. Did you before the CD actually came out, did you do any like self-distribution, or are there like any kind of like rarities out there?
So, well, with the distribution, they only have the standard edition. So they don't, the album doesn't include Beautiful Warriors or Biggest Battle. And people were like, oh my God, why didn't you put the title track of the album, the title track song on the album? And I was just like, it's just an incentive for you to buy the actual CD. So you could buy the CD at Zia Records, you could buy the CD at my website, chrisivan.net. And those are pretty much the only two places you could buy the deluxe edition. So it was an incentive type of business strategy. And I mean, it's worked. I started off buying just to see, I mean, I didn't want to buy too much and then fuck myself over and be like, oh my God, no one's buying this shit, because I didn't know. And at first I bought 500 CDs, and now I have 50 left. And
Oh,
I mean, it was a good business move because so many people bought the actual physical CD, and people were like, people don't buy CDs no more. And I was just like, well, I mean, yes, that's true, but I still like having the physical product. I love the
yeah, I agree.
CD, and it's just more artistic because when you get the actual album, you pull out. My CD isn't just a blank CD; it has art on it, and it's very artistic how I wanted to do it.
Yeah, let's take a look at the yeah.
Oh yeah, so butterflies and vine, and that's just exactly what. And to go back to a question, I mean, that you said in the beginning of why it's black and white, and then there's flowers and butterflies coming out of my face, is because there was a time where I was like very like morbid and very distressed, and like I really didn't see life in a beautiful way. But through all these battles and finding myself and never giving up and pursuing my dreams, I found the light within myself, and I found the beauty, and I wasn't holding it in no more. And with releasing the music, and also the violence coming out of my faces, I was spreading it to the world. I was letting people know my story.
Okay, and who did the art?
So the artwork was done by Kyle K. He's a beautiful, like he captures the beautiful, like, oh, so I can't even speak correctly because his art is so fucking good. When he can capture shit that no one else can capture on camera. And then Joe Lujan also worked on it as well.
That's a good
So
looking
it was
cover.
a combination. Thank you.
Yeah, it's I really kind of take this as almost like a sci-fi album. You know, that it looks very science fiction-y, even with like the face coming off. It's almost like, you know, kind of like an android, and then you know,
Yeah.
you in like a desolate world, and then you pull the mask off, and then all the vegetation comes back. So I
Oh yeah.
really see this as like a more science fiction.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that's why I like it. You know, is that it that's what appeals to me, is because I actually prefer science fiction over horror. So
Oh,
yeah, so I think that's very, yeah, it's a great looking cover. And
thank.
so what has happened, because now you the album's out there, people can buy it, like you said, it's at Zia Records and stuff, and your website. What's happened to your career since then?
Uh, I've had opportunities to perform at places I've never thought. Like Stonies was a big one. I performed and shared the stage with Joe Lujan. That was such an amazing opportunity to headline um, a show with so many other artists, and it was just an amazing show. I still can't believe we did that because first of all, to get Joe Lujan on a stage, he's a director. He's not known for a singer. So like to get him on the stage was the biggest and the hardest hurdle we hopped over. But then once we got comfortable and we were singing the song, it just felt so right, and we were singing, we were having so much fun. Then after that, we got to eat some bomb ass barbecue food, so I was not complaining. But then we also gave that one performance. We gave the opportunity for everyone in the crowd to hear the remix edition of "Fragile" that has Joe Lujan on it.
Oh, okay.
And that was amazing. I loved it. And I mean, I've had more opportunities with labels. I've talked to so many labels. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that legally I can't say because of. So there's a lot going on, and music video opportunities. It's crazy how I mean, more people have endorsed my music because they actually see it's not just fucking music and it's not just shit. Like when you tell people, oh, I'm an artist, you should hear their song. 9 out of 10 times you're like, oh shit, what am I about to listen to? And everyone who would be like, oh, listen to the song would feel they're like, oh, okay, we'll listen to it. And then at the end they would be like, oh, well, this is actually like standard, like this is industry like standard. This is really good. And I was just like, I mean, thank you. So I've gotten so many more connections, and then with releasing a full album, I've gotten the opportunity to write for other artists that trust in me and that love my form of writing and artwork. And it's just been honestly such an incredible turnout. You don't really see how one project could open up so many other opportunities. Gotten the opportunity to write with Joe Lujan on his project and his music project, but then I've also got into work with an amazing artist. Her name is Desi, and I co-written her whole EP that is coming out September 17th. So, and that has some beautiful songs, like fuck, such good songs that I connect with so much. I love them so much. I am featured on the EP. I'm track 4. It's called My Way. It's a very dance song. Us as humans, we like when shit goes our way, and I'm one of those type of people. So I just wanted to tell everyone in the world that I like stuff my way. Doesn't mean it always happens like that, but I mean, for the most part, it's just a beautiful song. Joe Lujan is featured on the 5th track called Illusion, and I couldn't have asked for any better artists to work with like Joe Lujan and Desi. And her EP again is being released on September 17th, and you can pre-order it on iTunes, Spotify. Like you can pre-order everywhere that music you can buy music from. And the title track, the album name, we kind of were like going off. It was very hard to pick the EP name, and we decided to go with Metamorphosis because she is no longer an infant, and she's transitioning into a young woman, a young adult, and Metamorphosis is exactly what we felt was fitting. So you could pre-order Desi's debut EP, Metamorphosis, everywhere. It's pre-order. You can pre-order it everywhere. And she has such an amazing voice for being so young. She's just 13, and which is crazy to me. And she's about to rock everyone's fucking world, especially these grown-ass adults. Like I'm so impressed. I'm so honored to work with her, and honestly, getting to write for other artists is beautiful. And it shows my range of writing. I like to say, because I could write for a 13-year-old, I could write for someone who is 21, and then I could write for someone who is 31. So it shows that like I don't have my writing capabilities can go pretty much everywhere I want them to go.
Yeah, into the future, if you're writing for a 31-year-old, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully I don't go through that stuff. But I'm capable of helping people write. And doing that and getting to write Joe Lujan's War and The Queen. Those are beautiful songs. But then I'm also gearing up to release a new single called Focus on Me. And honestly, there was artists like Joe Lujan, Desi, Adam, who Atom, I'm sorry, who really motivated me this year. And I hadn't gone to the studio for almost 10 months working on my own personal music. And those three artists encouraged me and got me out of my little slump. And this single called Focus on Me is showing a whole different side of Chris Ivan. And I'm excited to show them this new Chris Ivan because it's been in development for a long time. Expect to see something new and fresh. Expect to see a whole new side of confidence and a whole new side of what Chris really wants you to focus on. So I had it sounds very like stupid, like dumb when I say it, but I had to focus on me so much for 10 months that I'm tired of focusing on me. I found myself now I want the whole world to focus on me. So I was hiding myself. I didn't want no one to focus on me. Now I'm at a point where it's just like, all right, I'm out of hibernation. All you bitches, all you everyone, all you men, all you females, look at me now. So I'm showing a whole new side, so fresh. I'm about to go through a whole change, and once everyone will know when it's coming, because it's not going to be what I look like now. Not saying I'm doing anything drastic, but I don't need anyone thinking, oh my God, he's going to go to Mexico for surgery. No, just appearance. But yes, there's a whole new side. So definitely check out Desi's Metamorphosis. Check out Joe Lujan's The Queen and War and his future EP. And then I expect a new single from me very soon called Focus on Me.
You have just answered my last like 6 questions.
I telepathically knew that those were coming. So I was just like, you know what? I love John's voice, but I'm going to take it upon myself and do it.
Yes. Well, this show isn't about me. It is about, I want to go in the right direction here. You, there we go. It's about you. So it needs to be, it does need to be focused on you. So, yes. Yeah, I guess.
And the beat is something completely different. The beat is something completely different. And when I say something new and fresh, appearance-wise and performance-wise, but also the beat, I've never done something like this. Never ever. If you would have given me this in my first project, Biggest Battle, I would have been like, what the fuck? I don't want that. I don't want that. Get away from me. But now I've transitioned and not I've went into a cocoon, no pun intended, when it comes to Metamorphosis, but I'm doing that on purpose so it could be like cheesy or stupid or whatever. But I took time, and now the sound is completely different and it's new. I may be singing in a different language as well, so I'm excited. But you'll definitely know in multiple languages, so people could focus on me, because I want everyone in China, Europe, Mexico, everyone in Dubai. I want everyone in London. So I want everyone.
Klingon. You'll be singing in Klingon.
Oh yeah.
The beautiful language of Klingon.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay, man. So that's then I have really only one last question for you then, because like I said, you kind of engulfed my last few questions. So but this is called One Filmmaker, One Film, technically. And so I would like to touch just a little bit on the films that you've worked on. So just so you're not just a musician, also you act and you produce. So we both have worked with Joe Lujan. What are you doing as far as film wise with like producing, acting? You know, what can we expect coming up?
So you could expect a lot of things actually, but the main thing that we've been working on for so long, and hopefully we have the privilege to work with John Ward even more on this project,
Oh,
is
I hope.
Decay's Paradox. Decay's Paradox is a part of Joe Lujan's Ravage Rain universe, and it's the spin-off on his fan favorite Decay. She's a badass, played by Lindsay Cruz. I fucking love Lindsay. I fucking love Joe Lujan. I love you, John. Like, this project has happened. It started in the pandemic. John is maybe one of the few straight guys who've seen me butt ass naked.
That's true. I
We
have.
filmed that in Wood.
In the rain, you know.
It was cold, but I will literally do anything for a shot. So the Case Paradox is coming. That is basically a spin-off for the Mortal Wars, and it's just showing the story of Decay. And when I approached Joe Lujan with I just wanted to do something with Joe Lujan. He was just like, let's do a spin-off with Decay. And I also requested that we do something a little bit more like different. So with Decay's Paradox, it's going to open up more about how fucked up her family is and how Decay becomes to be so evil and just so fucking badass. But she has a lot of family issues, and I kind of wanted to see and work with Joe Lujan to see if we could do like more of like a deep like sci-fi action, but then also have a very like deep meaning where it's also like fucked up family issues at the same time, but doesn't take away too much of the fighting and badass and the killing people. And oh, it's just so beautiful. It's so neatly done. Joe hasn't done a project like this, and I can't wait till everyone sees it, because it just shows his range as a director as well and a writer. He is going to be on top of the world very soon, just like you, John.
Oh, thank you.
There's a few people out here who are definitely going to make it in. And Joe, I can't wait for everyone to see what he's really done. And I've just gotten the opportunity and the privilege to be a producer for it, and it's just a great opportunity. And I am so grateful and honored to be working with Joe Lujan so closely with this project. So you can expect Decay's Paradox. You can also expect an anthology called Lost Souls. I'm in can I say that? I don't know. I'm in 2 of the short films, 2 different directors. One of them is very COVID wrapped around. It's around COVID, and then the other one is something that I feel like. Have you ever seen The Killer Unicorn?
The Killer Unicorn?
I think that's what the movie's called, The Killer Unicorn. It's basically a gay killer, and he has a unicorn mask, and he's killing everyone.
Oh no, I haven't. It sounds interesting.
You should watch it. It's actually so well produced, and the cinematography is so good on it. And not that it's anything like that in the anthology that Joe directed, but it has the characters are from a beautiful community. I don't want to say too much, because I'm the type of person where I'll just spit everything out, and then Joe's gonna text me. He's gonna be like, "You literally just told everyone the whole fucking movie. I'm not gonna watch it." But expect something similar to that, but we're going to do it with a Joe Lujan flair. And this is the first time that I'm gonna play a killer. Like, I mean, I've
nice.
killed other people in films, but I'm playing a killer. And I'm playing a killer that is going to be so gruesome, and I'm gonna get bathed in their blood, and it's a fetish for me. So it's gonna. I don't know what the last thing you heard.
What was the last thing? You're making me count on my memory here. I can't recall. My memory is so bad.
What was the last thing
well,
I was talking
you're
about?
you're being a kick-ass killer.
Yeah.
You're going to be bathed in blood,
Yes.
and I think that's where I got. So that's
Okay. So I'm also excited to announce, I mean, that anthology with Lost Souls. So I'm super excited. But then at the same time, I'm also very excited to work with an amazing director out here. And still waiting on the call for when and where. I mean, you might know him. His name is John Ward. I'm so excited to work with him. And I mean, we've talked a little, but I'm waiting. And if it happens, I'm ready.
well, we already know, and thank you very much. We know that you're going to be part of Delete, my short film.
Yes.
And then we got the the Axemas stuff coming up, and I don't know what's going on with Ghoul. I have no idea what's going on with that film, but there's plenty of opportunities for you definitely be involved in something, and actor, musician, or just actor, whatever you would like to do. So yeah, I have no problem with that at all. So that's, I look forward to it too.
I'm
So it's
excited.
just, no, it's funny that you say it that way, because I've just got a couple messages from people who are on Delete, a couple actors, and they're like, dude, what's going on with it? This was actually supposed to be done a few months ago, but it just hasn't happened. It's in the brain. It's just not, something is just not
Yeah.
motivating me to get up and do it. So I just have to force myself to do it.
Oh
So
yeah. I mean, I completely understand where you're at now just because of just working with Joe Lujan and seeing so much what he does. And I mean, I completely understand. Most people won't understand if they don't kind of go through what a director goes through. I'm not a director, but I've seen very close of what they go through. So honestly, just take your time because it needs to be perfect how you want it.
well, some of this stuff was crowdfunded, so it needs to get done.
Mm,
Like the Axemas stuff has to get done, and Delete was supposed to be on an anthology, like a part 2 anthology, and that's already come
mm,
out. I had to drop out of it, and now it may be on part 3, but I got to get it shot by the end of October. So so
mm.
we'll see what goes on with that. So, but this is not all about me. This is about, no, see, I'm still going about, no, wait, you somewhere in there, you.
I
We'll
don't
figure.
mind sharing the spotlight, but yes.
So, all right. Well, unless there's anything else you would like to say or plug or talk about
Yeah.
or anything, then
Let me do my last plug. I mean, we're all like, we all know it now, like everyone. So you can definitely check me out and my art, my music on music platform. Type in Chris Ivan Biggest Battle. You could check me out on my website, see all my exciting events that are coming up, music videos on chrisivan.net. Please pre-order Desi's DP Metamorphosis on iTunes. Definitely check out Joe Lujan's music because those artists I've worked with, I've co-written their songs. I'm show the world a new side of me, and I'm excited. Everything out. Follow Desi on Instagram, Desi Joe Lujan official or official Joe Lujan, any something like that. But follow them, and also I just want to lastly say I'm so honored to be on your show to work and talk more with John Ward,
oh,
and
thank you.
I'm so grateful. And that is my plug. Oh, I'm about to say, follow me on Instagram at official Chris Ivan. I always forget to say that, but now I'm done.
Well, and I'm honored to have you on the show. So it's been great fun talking with you. So
Yeah.
I really like doing this show because I like meeting new people. I like having people I already know on to promote their stuff,
Mhm.
and I just feel shows like this, not just mine but many others, just bring filmmakers and musicians all together, just a little
Oh
bit
yeah.
closer. So it's really nice to do. So
Oh yeah.
But okay then.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
excited.
So before we freeze again and this Zoom knocks us off,
I know.
let's I'll say thank you everyone and for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have a bunch of links down at the there we go, down at the bottom, full of Chris's stuff. That's right, down there. And please check out the music videos and the CD. And if you'd like, please add in those other links, you know, to anybody else that you'd like to have down there too. So we'll definitely,
Oh yeah.
you know, promote that stuff. And so I guess that's it. All righty. And so I will see you next time on One Filmmaker, One Film, or One Musician, One CD. So, all right, everybody. There's my hand. All right, bye. Bye.